Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Betty and this is Switch and Click, and today we'll be talking about the best hot-swappable mechanical keyboards of 2020, and I believe we have 5 different keyboards to talk about later. If you're looking to read about this, we have an associated blog post linked about down below at our Switch and Click mechanical keyboard blog, but let's jump straight into it. First, what are hot swappable mechanical keyboards? Well, they're super convenient. They're basically PCBs or printed circuit boards that allow you to pop out your switches by pulling them out using a switch puller and then taking another switch and popping it in. So the switches are attached to the PCB, but they're held onto your keyboard by the plate. So these have to be plate mounted switches. One thing that's super convenient about this is if you want to resell your switches in the future, you don't have to solder them, and therefore you're more likely to be able to sell them for a pretty good price. You can also install different kinds of switches on the same keyboard. For example, if you want your alphanumeric keys to be a linear switch, and then you want your number keys to be a clicky switch, and your arrow keys to be a linear switch or whatever. You can do whatever you want because it's super easy to just pop them in, pop them back out. If one breaks, you don't have to desolder your keyboard, you just replace it. That's another thing. People who don't know how to solder or don't own a soldering station or just think that you're not in an environment such as a small apartment where you can really buy those things and get deeper into the hobby, then this is probably a great kind of keyboard for you, and it'll let you try a ton of different switches and really explore without having to invest too much. Alright, so the next question is, where do you get one and what companies sell them? The first one, which is our favorite, is the Drop Control or the Drop Alt. The Drop Control is a 10 keyless mechanical keyboard and the Alt is a 65% mechanical keyboard. The Control costs $200, so it's really pricey, and the Alt costs $180, so they're both really expensive, but they do have the features to back it up. They're both hot swappable. They both have a fully anodized aluminum plate and case. They have detachable magnetic feet at the bottom in case you want a slight incline or negative incline or flat, whatever you pick. They have a floating keycap style design. They have PBT double shot keycaps and RGB lighting, and the keyboards themselves are entirely fully programmable, and the lighting is as well through QMK firmware that's available on the Drop website. Alongside this, it has 2 USB-C ports, one on each side of the keyboard, so you don't need to think about, oh gosh, where is my computer in relation to my keyboard, because you can pick either one. Super convenient. You also get different choices of switches. Currently, I think most of them are sold out, but they offer Cherry MX switches of different types, the Kale switches of different types, and then the Halo Trues and Clears. And then they also offer some GMK keycaps as well that you can buy with the keyboard for a slight discount. Okay, the second one that's hot swappable is the Input Club K-Type. This is very similar to a Drop Control keyboard. It is a 10 keyless design. It was a group buy in 2018 for about $200. Currently you can't buy it new anymore, but you can get it aftermarket. It has a lot of the same features, so aluminum case, PBT double shot keycaps, USB-C, detachable magnetic feet, RGB lighting, and all of that. But the main problem with this keyboard was that even though it had all of these features, none of them were done quite well enough that people really liked the keyboard. But the lighting was done really well, so if you want a disco show on your desk, this is the one, but I'm sure all the other ones can do too. So the fact that this is like an aftermarket buy, I just don't really even care about this one. And the third one is the glorious GMMK 10 keyless mechanical keyboard. This one currently costs $110, except it's not made entirely out of aluminum, so that's why it's a little bit cheaper than the rest of the other keyboards. This keyboard has full RGB lighting, a plastic case, a micro USB cable that's detachable. One special feature about it is that it has a keycap built into the back of the keyboard, which makes it super convenient. A complaint is that it has lackluster RGB lighting and it's not as bright, especially in a dim environment. And because the case is plastic, it's a little bit flexible and the keys rattle and echo within the plastic. And the last one, the fourth one, which we did not mention in the blog post, is the Logitech Pro X keyboard. It is currently $150 and it's online inside the Logitech store only. This keyboard has a micro USB cord that's detachable, but it also has little hooks to insert itself into the keyboard to prevent any slippage. It has its own switches made by Logitech called the GX switches, and they come in clicky, linear, or tactile. Pretty much the same colors as the Cherry MX switches, so red for linears, brown for tactile, and blue for clicky. It has 3 angles for its rubber feet kickstands, a flat one, and then 2 other ones a little bit higher. It's also entirely programmable via Logitech's firmware. It's a high profile keyboard, and one problem is that it has a non-standard bottom row. So if you're looking to replace all your keycaps, you may want to take a special look at that. Alright, so before we move on to some future releases of hot-swappable keyboards in 2020, we want to invite you to press that like button if you're enjoying the content. Press subscribe if you want to see more. If not, that's cool. But let's move on to some future releases that we're really excited about, and that is the Input Club Re-Type. This keyboard was supposed to come out in 2018, but because of some engineering delays, it's been delayed and there's been no news that's come out yet. But it's supposed to be the K-type, except a massive bunch better, but no news yet. And then the other one is the KeyCron K6. It is currently in pre-launch right now. You can get it on Kickstarter for about $69 to $89, and it's supposed to be shipped in March 2020. This keyboard is wireless or wired. It can connect up to 3 devices, and you get your switch choices out of the Gateron's red, brown, blue, and then you can choose optical switches too. Depending on the price, you can choose between an aluminum case or a plastic case, and it has PBT keycaps with an orange escape key to make it pop a little bit. You can choose between white or full RGB lighting, and it has 2 angles for the rubber feet and the kickstands. It has a detachable USB-C cable that can also be used to charge the keyboard as well. The batteries are said to last up to 80 hours without any RGB lighting and 4 hours with full RGB lighting. And like all the other KeyCron keyboards, they also offer Windows and Mac keycaps when you buy it, and you can switch between them easily using a switch on the side, so they're compatible with both. And that's it for our list of hot swappable keyboards. They're super convenient. We have one. We're getting another one. So we're super excited to be able to get our hands on a KeyCron K6 in March when they release later this year, and we'll let you guys know how it is. But in the meantime, check out the video links next to my face about why we're so excited about the K6, and then to any keyboard reviews that we've done before. Thank you for watching. Bye!